So the Donald Trump inauguration represented white supremacy being heard and not seen, with an abysmal turnout of reportedly 10,000 people or something like that. Whatever the number was, it was far less than it was for Barack Obama. Now, the reason why, this is just my theory, the reason why there was such a low turnout is because, once I said, my opening statement, white supremacy represents a power structure of being heard and not seen. It's similar to the white supremacists that voted and put Donald Trump in office. You didn't know who they were. You didn't see who they were, right? But you know they voted for him, right? Same thing. So, I mean, you can go back to, let's imagine we're still living in, apartheid, slavery, back in antebellum slavery days, et cetera, et cetera. And you had overt racism, right? You have elements of that today, but for the most part, you have covert racism. But the overt racism, can you imagine having the KKK, alt-right representatives, neo-Nazis, what I'm talking about, white extremists out there, right, in D.C. at the Donald Trump inauguration? That would be a scary sight, just to see these full-fledged white extremists, white supremacists doing the Zing Hell salute, white power, alt-right, all that, anti-multiculturalism, all of those ideologies spat out, right, with the white extremists. That would be a sight to see. But you don't see that. But we know those are the people, those are the types of people that voted in Donald Trump, right? So, family, I'm going to play this video and give you guys my real-time reaction regarding President Secretary Sean Spicer, who reportedly is ripping apart the media about the lies, aka lies about Donald Trump. Well, we all, you know what that means. The mainstream media is controlled by the dominant white society. So whoever they pay to make sure their news is upholding their agenda, they're fine with that. So that's why they're attacking news outlets like CNN, the Young Turks, because they're fake news. But the real news is Fox, right? Right? Et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to play this video, family, about President Secretary Sean Spicer, who is going to be ripping apart the media about the lies of Donald Trump. Before I start on that commentary, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist. If you are a new viewer on this channel, I talk about counter racism. I also talk about issues that affect Black people collectively as a group. And I offer my suggestions on how to replace this broken system of injustice, this broken system of racism, which is white supremacy, with a system of justice. So if you are new and you agree to that ideology, please subscribe to this channel. After you agree, hit that bell button so every time I do an upload, you get a notification to watch the videos, all right? And if you don't agree with that ideology, all right, if you want to hate, watch, and troll, be my guest, subscribe anyway, because I need two things to happen: my view counts and my subscriptions to go up, for the message to be widespread about replacing this broken system of racism, white supremacy, with a system of justice, all right? So if you want to hate, watch, and troll, again, be my guest, because at the end of the day, those kind of people are just statistics and view counts. Anyway, family, so let's get right into it. This video is entitled "Full White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer Absolutely Rips Apart Media Lies About Donald Trump." So I'm going to play the video and give you guys my real-time post commentary and thoughts. Let's get right into it.
Good evening. Thank you guys for coming. I know our first official press briefing is going to be on Monday, but I wanted to give you a few updates on the president's activities. But before I get to the news of the day, I think I'd like to discuss a little bit of the coverage of the past 24 hours. Yesterday, at a time when our nation and the world was watching the peaceful transition of power, and as the president said, the transition and the balance of power from Washington to the citizens of the United States, some members of the media were engaged in deliberately false reporting. For all the talk about the...
Hold on. Watch those words. Transition of power. Transition of maintaining and upholding white supremacy. That's what that means. Simple as that.
Proper use of Twitter. 2 instances yesterday stand out. One was a particularly egregious example in which a reporter falsely tweeted out that the bust of Martin Luther King Jr. had been removed from the Oval Office. After it was pointed out that this was just plain wrong, the reporter casually reported and tweeted out and tried to claim that a Secret Service agent must have just been standing in front of it. This was irresponsible
The hell?
and reckless. Secondly, photographs of the inaugural proceedings were intentionally framed in a way, in one particular tweet, to minimize the enormous support that had gathered on the National Mall. This was the first time in our nation's history that floor coverings have been used to protect the grass in the mall. That had the effect of highlighting any areas where people were not standing, while in years past, the grass eliminated this visual. This was also the first time
what the hell that mean?
fencing and magnetometers went as far back on the wall, preventing hundreds of thousands of people from being able to access the mall as quickly as they had in inaugurations past. Inaccurate numbers involving crowd size were also tweeted. No one had numbers because the National Park Service, which controls the National Mall, does not put any out. By the way, this applies to any attempts to try to count the number of protesters today in the same fashion.
All right, so hold up. So no one has numbers, right? Okay, so when Barack Obama was inaugurated, and you can just Google images, Getty images right now. You do a comparison between Barack Obama's picture, all right? It's an aerial shot of the National Mall in D.C. Now, it's estimated that there was 1.8 million people in attendance for Barack Obama's inauguration in January of 2009. You look at the picture, compare it to the inauguration for Donald Trump, all right? It's a night and day comparison. Night and day. He had nowhere near 1.8 million people. Reportedly, it was 10,000, but whatever the case may be, whatever the number was, is nowhere near Barack Obama's number. So, again, that's a lie. He's talking about there's no numbers reported or whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is the inauguration turnout was abysmal. It was abysmal, straight up.
We do know a few things, so let's go through the facts. We know that from the platform where the president was sworn in to 4th Street holds about 250,000 people. From 4th Street to the media tent is about another 220,000. And from the media tent to the Washington Monument, another 250,000 people. All of this space was full when the president took the oath of office. We know that 420,000 people used the D.C. Metro public transit yesterday, which actually compares to 317,000 that used it for President Obama's last inaugural. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe. Even the New York Times printed a photograph showing a misrepresentation of the crowd in the original tweet in their paper, which showed the full extent of the support, depth, and crowd and intensity that existed. These attempts to lessen the enthusiasm of the inauguration are shameful and wrong. The president was also at the Central, as you know, the president was at the Central Intelligence Agency today and greeted by a raucous overflow crowd of some 400 plus CIA employees. There were over 1,000 requests to attend, prompting the president to note that he'll have to come back to greet the rest. The employees were ecstatic
What
with
that
his
mean?
new commander-in-chief, and he delivered them a powerful and important message. He told them he has their back, and they were grateful for that. They gave him a 5-minute standing ovation at the end in a display of their patriotism and their enthusiasm for his presidency.
Oh, great.
I'd also note that it's a shame that the CIA didn't have a CIA director to be with him today when he visited, because the Democrats have chosen, Senate Democrats are stalling the nomination of Mike Pompeo and playing politics with national security. That's what you guys should be writing and covering. That this, instead of sowing division about tweets and false narratives, the president is committed to unifying our country, and that was the focus of his inaugural address. This kind of dishonesty in the media, the challenging that bringing about our nation together is making it more difficult. There's been a lot of talk in the media about the responsibility to hold Donald Trump accountable. And I'm here to tell you that it goes two ways. We're going to hold the press accountable as well. The American people deserve better, and as long as he serves as the messenger for this incredible movement, he will take his message directly to the American people, where his focus will always be. And with that, a few other updates from the day. The president had a constructive conversation with Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada about strengthening the relationship between our two nations. They also discussed setting up additional meetings in the days to come, which we will follow up on. He also spoke to Prime Minister Peña Nieto of Mexico and talked about a visit on trade, immigration, and security that will occur on the 31st. The president will welcome his first foreign leader this Thursday, when the United Kingdom's Theresa May will come to Washington on Friday.
See how that goes.
On tomorrow, the president will oversee his assistants to the president being sworn in. He will then, the staff will then have an ethics briefing and be a briefing on the proper use and handling of classified information. Further updates as far as what he will do. Oh, and then in the evening, he will have a reception for law enforcement and first responders that helped support the inauguration. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I will see you on Monday.
That's so cute. That's so cute. Donald Trump has his own YouTube page. Spreading the agenda of white supremacy. I love it. That is so cute. The press, I mean, this dude was addressing a tweet on Twitter. This dude was like, yeah, man, that tweet was garbage. That's a lie. You know, like, really, bro? Like, we gonna have Twitter beefs now? Of course, you know, Donald Trump has Twitter fingers, you know, and he can turn his Twitter fingers into trigger fingers, obviously, because he's a part of the regime of white supremacy. He has the power, you know, the wealth and the resources. He has his billionaire buddies. He's a billionaire himself, so he could do that. So he can have Twitter beefs, or he can have real beefs and shoot people, or create laws to subjugate, marginalize, right, people of color, black people specifically, okay, and mistreat them, etc., etc. He could do that with just a sign of a paper. That's it. So, but I find that hilarious, man. This guy was like addressing the damn tweet at a press conference, you know, a press secretary addressing the damn tweet at a press conference. That goes to show you where the direction of the Donald Trump regime is going, right? They're going to be leading a apartheid neo-Nazi regime, okay, to uphold the power structure of white supremacy, to make sure black people, right, are used as tokens. Yeah, man, I'm going to shake hands with this goddamn Negro, similar to President Lyndon B. Johnson, who wanted to understand, you know, black people's psychology and et cetera, at the same time. Once you understand their psychology, you can control them. That's the same thing Donald Trump is. It's a tactic from Lyndon B. Johnson, okay, Margaret Sanger, you know, the Negro Project, all that stuff. It's the same thing. So that lets you show you right there. That's the regime that President Donald Trump is going to be doing in the next 4 years. So that's all I can say, family. It was funny though, him addressing the goddamn tweet. Yeah, man, that's a lie. I gotta address that tweet, man. You know, he retweeted the photo, and he doing all they're gonna address memes too, right? From a secretary too. They're gonna address memes. Yeah, man, that meme with that toupee on Donald Trump's face, man. We gotta call that out. Shut up, man. Just shut up. Anyway, like I said, family, take the conditions that you're in, right? No matter who's president. I don't care if it's Barack Obama, Donald Trump, or whatever. Take it to your own hands and change your condition where you live. It starts with local government. Again, know your mayor, know your city politicians, know your city commissioner, know your police chief. All right? Know all these people. Go to the meetings where you live. Understand what's going on. All right? I'll have a video. I'll have a link up here where I talked about the power of local governing. And when you do something, you can't make changes of where you live. All right? You can't make changes. And don't talk about, well, we don't need their government. No, you have to take over their government. All right? And it starts with understanding who your local politicians are, building relationships, and putting money where your mouth is. All right? Because at the end of the day, everything is controlled by the green dollar. You got to pool your resources together and start a agenda, a narrative. And when you confront these damn suspected white supremacists about something, especially these lawmakers, ALEC, etc., you hold them accountable and you have leverage with money. All right? That's what you have to do. All right, family. So those are my thoughts about that press conference with Sean Spicer, talking about they had a great turnout at the inauguration. Just shut up. Then he wanted to address a damn tweet, some random tweet about Martin Luther King's statue was blocked. Ridiculous, man. What you gonna do? Are you gonna address now? You're gonna start addressing diss tracks about Donald Trump from a tweet? It's crazy. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below about that video. If you watched the inauguration live, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Until the next time, family, this is Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.